Nothing I could have mentioned. Very horrible right now. Like I feel like a bad mom. My son's crying because he's hungry. And we don't have any money to feed him. And I feel like a bad mom, not because we don't have the money, but because I'm the one that started feeding him formula. And the reason why I did it was because I thought that's what God told me. And I feel it, like I feel God on it so strong. Like he answered a prayer that I didn't even pray. Right? I went to he had a doctor's appointment. I kept seeing 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 everywhere I go. I kept seeing 10, 10. And this appointment, I woke up and I saw 10, 10 on the clock. And then, and I had been seeing 10, 10, 10, 10. This was like, I believe this was in October. It was in October. And it was October or November. I'm not sure. Maybe November, like beginning, maybe. And I had been seeing 10, 10 everywhere, right? And when I see 10, 10, like I associate it with John 10, 10, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but I have come so that they may have life and have it more abundantly, right? And I always think of it like, there's two agendas, sometimes three, because, we have will too. So, but I feel like at the end of the day, we're, as humans, we're a culmination of like our experiences and everything that we've been through. So, feel like although we have free will, who we follow influences our will. Like what, like if you follow Christ, and you follow His commandments, and you reverence Him, you have a fear of the Lord. That influences your will, because His will is what you reverence in your life over your own. And I think the same thing applies on the other side of it with the enemy. And I don't know why, but every time I come on here, like I feel very. I was really, I was really like, I can't think of the word, but I really feel like I just let myself down, But I know what I heard God say, and it's funny because He like answered a prayer I didn't pray. It was a prayer I didn't feel worthy to pray, because I felt like as a woman and as a mother, it's my job to, at the very least, breastfeed my child, and I desire to do that. But along the way, it got really rough, and it was very demanding, and it was hard for me. It was very painful, and but I didn't feel as though I had the right to complain about it, and I didn't. Nobody knew. It was something that was just in my heart, and I kept it there because it's my job that's my job to take care of my kid, and that is something that comes natural to me, so I should do it. That's the mindset, but God knows the heart. Man looks at the outside appearance, but God knows the heart. And He knew that was something that had been weighing on me for a long time. And I hope that I can be heard, because I had to just disconnect the Bluetooth. But I got to the doctor's office, right? And like I said, I had been seeing 1010 everywhere. Like even that day when I left, I saw 1010 on the clock. And then that's the machine, and there's a whole nother story with that. But so I get to the doctor's appointment, right? I take him, and his weight was 10 pounds, and it was 1 ounce, but the way it showed up on their scale, it was 1010. And I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. Like everywhere I looked, everywhere I turned, I kept seeing 1010. So then the doctor was like, he's not, I need him to gain like a couple more pounds, because he was born early, because I had placenta previa with him. And so he was born a month early. So she's like, he's not where she wants him to be weight wise. So she needed him to gain a couple more ounces. She's like, just a couple more. She's like, so what do you think about supplementing with formula? And I said okay, because I had heard God telling me to go to Florida, and I was trying to figure out how I was gonna do this, like because I'm exclusively breastfeeding my son, and but it's been so demanding. It's only on demand. Like I haven't been able to store up anything, so or I hadn't been able to store up anything, and so this is something there's a lot of things I just ponder in my heart. I don't speak out loud. I don't pray out loud. The only person that knows these inward feelings of mine is God. He's the only one that could know. Because even my husband, I never complained about breastfeeding my son. Never. I just kept that in my heart. Only God knew. And He knew how much of a struggle it was for me. He knew how painful it was for me. He knew. So I get to the doctor's office, and you know, but even still, I'm like, how are we gonna do this? And I had like some samples of formula at the house that, when you're pregnant, they send you all kind of stuff in the mail. So I had that, and then I thought, I'm like, maybe like, I can try to pump as much as I can, and then like, if anything, he could supplement like that until I get back. And so she actually recommended that we supplement because of she wanted him to gain more weight.
I'm so sorry.
For what?
I'm really so sorry.
So I was not anticipating doing this video, girl. Like, I'm not dressed, my hair is not done. This was I was going to do something completely different. Like, I just got out the shower, and I had to come down here, and it's funny because both times today I came down here very heavy, very sad, very just like feeling defeated. But every time I'm like, God, who does that? But he's like, you gotta show this. You gotta show this. Like, this is bigger than you. Honey, don't do that, okay? Just don't make a loud noise. I'm just trying to talk, okay? So I get to the doctor's office, and she's like, she's like, I have samples, and I can give you some. So she's like, what do you want, Enfamil or Similac? And then I was gonna say Enfamil because those were the samples that I had at home. But I heard God say, when she asked me, don't say anything, let her choose. So I said, okay. And she came back, and she had this, I wish I had it, it's upstairs. Actually, let me go run and let me get it. I'll be right back. So it was this right here, right? And she's like, I got you. She's like, I was gonna get you the other thing, but I got you the bougie one. She called it the bougie one. And it's so funny because I saw this on the thing, and it kind of blew my mind because look, she handed it to me, and the date on there was 10/10/26. And I couldn't believe it, y'all. I was like, no way. And I heard God say it. I heard him say, don't pick it. Let her do what she's gonna do. And I never heard of this before, but she was like, this is the bougie one. She's like, and don't worry about buying any. She's like, we have a whole stock full. Don't buy any. Just call us and we'll give you more when you need more. And then so at the top it says, you won't believe this ish. Right? And I thought that was so funny because it reminded me of a dream or a vision that I had when I was in the motel. Like, I saw a hand, and it was like smearing blood over the top of the shower, right? Like, and then I saw poop hit the ceiling, just like that, right? So it was like Passover. Then I saw poop hit the ceiling. And when she gave me this, I was like, oh my God, like, I had been seeing 10/10/10/10, like, I got pictures, screenshots, all the things, like notes, everything of like all the confirmations. I kept seeing 10/10 all the time. And every time I see it, I think about John 10/10. But then God was like really ministering to me the other day about it. Like, he was showing me 10/10, I think in Deuteronomy, I think it was. Let me just see real quick. If it's not that, I'm not going to divert because I've been like going all over the place. Was it Exodus 10:10 or Deuteronomy? I think it was Deuteronomy. Numbers, Deuteronomy. I gotta get ready. My husband's trying to do something good. Hold up. 10, 10. No, that's not it. But this one say, as at the first time I stayed in the mountain 40 days and 40 nights, the Lord also heard me at that time, and the Lord chose not to destroy you. That's Moses to the Hebrew Israelites. Let me see, what's Genesis 10:10? It's way better to start from the beginning, right? Today, was it that one? Yeah, yes. Yes, this is it. Because he had me looking at the Tower of Babel, because 10:10, right? So I saw 10 is literally page 10 in my Bible, and then 10 is showing. So I'll show you. So there's Genesis 10:10, right? And then so 10 there, and then 10 there. And then I was seeing 10:11. So I saw it again here. And so he started talking to me about the Tower of Babel, and but I saw this, and then I saw 10:10, right? And it was saying that the beginning. Where am I at? Let me go to it. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, right? And it goes on talking about Nimrod. Yes, this is how I got here anyway, because I was God was talking to me about generational curses, and you know how in Noah's family, not Noah, Abraham's family, right? Because he talks to me through so many different numbers, and so another one of them is 12, 12, and 12, 13. And so I was here in Genesis 12, right? Because I was looking at the promises of Abram, but God had me focusing on his lineage, his genealogy, right? Where from Shem's descendants down to Noah's dad, it's 10 generations. And this was reminding me of a dream, right? It's literally 10 generations from Shem to Terah, Abraham's father. And all of the descendants, when you look at it, all of the descendants of Shem had their firstborn child by the age of no later than 35, right? And then when it got to Abraham's father, Terah, it says he lived 70 years and then begot Abram. And this was because he worshiped idols. So like God took me over to, I think it was Joshua. Yeah, Joshua 24. Wow, this is a flow because this is crazy. And God always keeps telling me like it's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. But I like, I'm like, I know I heard God say that. Like nobody knew that but me. This was something I pondered in my heart. It was just in my heart. It was not something anyone knew. I didn't complain about it at all. And so, Joshua. I think it's Joshua 24. Let me see. Yes, the covenant at Shechem, because this is what he's talking to me about, covenants, and godly covenants and evil covenants. And he said, this is in Joshua 24:2. And Joshua said to all the people, thus says the Lord God of Israel, your fathers, including Terah, the father of Abraham and the father of Nahor, dwelt on the other side of the river in old times, and they served other gods. Then I took your father Abraham from the other side of the river and led him throughout all the land of Canaan, and multiplied his descendants and gave him Isaac. To Isaac I gave Jacob and Esau. To Esau I gave the mountains of Seir to possess. but Jacob and his children went down to Egypt. All right. So I don't need to go through all that, but it's just this part here, right? 24:2, where it says that, and Joshua and all the other people, and Joshua said to all the people, thus says the Lord God of Israel, your fathers, including Terah. This goes all the way back to Genesis. And this reminded me of a dream I had of my sister. This is my youngest sister. And I had a dream of her and my friend. And I need more revelation on that dream. But I know, like, we were on a boat, and it was like a boat that was shipwrecked on the sea and like on the land, and she jumped, like it was like a pirate ship, and she jumped from some high part. She was like on some really high landing on the boat, and she jumped down onto the deck where I was standing at next to my other friend. And like when she jumped down, she went through the deck, like she went through the wood. And it's making me think about like Noah's Ark or something, but I don't know. Like when I say like the wood, like in the boat, but it didn't look like Noah's Ark. But in the dream, like she went through it, and she's like, I've been looking for you everywhere. And like she was right in front of me, and she had like this little pregnant belly. It was like really little. And she's like, I've been looking for you everywhere. And she's like, so you didn't have to go through this alone. And she's like, I'm 10 months pregnant. She said she was 10 months pregnant. And my friend, she said, well, that makes two of you. And it was just very strange because I had this dream last year. Or actually, I had this dream in 2024. And it was right after I miscarried the baby that I had right before him. I miscarried on November 7th, 2024. It was literally, or November 6th, 7th. It was like, it went from the night to the day. So it was like 6, 7. But yeah, it was 7 days. It was literally 7 days from the day, from Halloween day. So the 6th, it was the 6th. So because the Halloween is the 31st, and I say that because on that day, I remember God, he had unctioned my spirit like I was going to start the YouTube. And I didn't know what, he just told me, he's like, you have to go first. He said, you have to start. And I didn't really know what that meant. At that time, he was talking to me a lot about Jonah, so I thought that's what I was going to talk about, and I was just going to let him do what he does. And I remember saying I was going to get ready to go. I had to run downstairs to my office to get my microphone, because I was going to record upstairs in my prayer closet. And so I ran downstairs, and there was like, I'm in Texas, and out here there's like these big like cucarachas out here, like these big roaches, like, you know, they come from the outside. And so but for like the past like 3 days at this point, maybe, like it was a continuous thing. Like I was seeing them, they would be in, like, I'm in the garage, so there's a door that goes right into the hallway by my office downstairs here, right off the garage. And there's like a little thoroughway. So like there's our laundry room there, and then there's the stairs to go up into the house. So in this little area before you get up to the stairs, it's like the foot of the stairs. And at that area at the foot of the stairs, I would see one like almost every other day, and it would be a big, like this huge, right? And it would be like dead on its back in the same spot, like, you know. And they would get thrown away, these things, like, you know, they would get. So I'm like, I remember seeing this. I'm like, God, like I feel like you're trying to tell me something. Like I'm like, what is this about? Like, what are you saying? And I heard him clear as day. I was standing in my office right in front of the bookshelf, and he said, prophesy to the dry bones. And I say, you want me to, this is a side note caveat, kind of funny story. I say, you want me to prophesy to the roach? Like, you want me to, but I heard him, so I had to be obedient. Like, it's just what, just yes sir, right? So I'm like, okay. So I opened my Bible and I started reading Ezekiel 37, right? I just started reading it, and I saw it moving a little bit. Now at this point in time, my husband and I had gotten to like an argument, and we weren't talking. Like, we weren't talking. I think it had been like a couple of days. Like, we were not talking, and and um during this time I had found out I was pregnant, and I didn't know, because I went down to a wow, this is I went down to a conference in wow, wow, I, only God can do these kind of things. So I went down to Dallas to a like a it was a conference. I think it was like, she called it Fire Night with Kingdom Wealth Ministries, and she had it down in Dallas. And I remember we were in Jersey for a while, and there's a lot of things I just pray in my heart. I just ponder in my heart, because I I am used to experiencing a lot of warfare, and so like to just not get something that's contrary and maybe mistake it for something God is saying, because the enemy can be crafty. Um, when I need a revelation about something that I'm not sure about, I'll ponder it in my heart. Like, I literally will just, talk to God in my heart about it. I don't even pray about it out loud. And I pray the word out loud, but I usually don't pray things I'm not sure about out loud. And um, so those are just the meditations of my heart, and then God knows. So we were in New Jersey, and in New Jersey, God had led me on a fast, and we wound up staying out there a little longer than we were supposed to. Jeez, he's really digging down into the down. um, and we stayed out there a little longer than we were supposed to, and all hell was breaking loose between me and my husband in this house, and I was experiencing like a lot of things, and this is really going in a way I didn't know, but I want to chop it up, and then I'll see how God wants me to lead it. He led me on this fast because something happened with the car. He something happened with his mother's car, and we wound up having to get AAA to come pick it up. And but while we were there, I saw like a lamp post. It had my friend's name on it. Clear as day, had her name on it. And normally, I'll like, when I think of somebody, it's like an afterthought, and then I never get back to them. But when I saw it in the moment, I heard to reach out to her. So I just texted her a picture, and I said, hey, thinking about you, like, how you doing, whatever. And then she texted me back, and she was actually going through it. And she was telling me that, dang, because it's making me think about a ball that I dropped. I dropped a ball with another one of my friends, like really bad. And sometimes life's, and then you can make a million excuses, but then what? So I don't I don't know what God is doing, because I feel like I just keep getting all. I know where this started, but it's like it starts there, and then but it's like he's like constantly taking me back to the root. And so um, I gotta see about my friend. I gotta see about my friend because it's just been very hard. Like life is just my phone. Nothing has space, and it's just like everything is pulling me in every direction, and I feel guilty because I'm like I don't want to reach out to you, and then I can't hold a conversation with you, and then there's like so much stuff going on. And I have all these million thoughts, and it's like it's not that I'm not thinking about you. It's not that you're not on my heart. It's not that I don't care about you. It's not that I don't pray for you all the time because I do. It's just that sometimes you're your own worst enemy, and I feel bad because we haven't talked for so long, and like we have so much catching up to do, and then it's just like I feel like I don't have the time because there's so many distractions, and I don't want to have to bide my time, you know, when it comes. And this is always a struggle for me. So but then time just keeps passing and passing and passing and passing. But when I said that, it reminded me of like it was a very recent time where God had put this friend on my heart, and she was on my heart. I ran into somebody at the grocery store that just reminded me of her. And then I had to apologize to the lady because I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm like, you remind me of like my best friend. Like, because I was staring at her and I apologized because I'm like, I'm sorry if you just see me like staring at you. Like, I'm not a creep, but like, you just remind me so much of my best friend. And she's like, you remind me of somebody too. But like, looking at each other, it was something about the essence because like like looking at her like she's not her, but something about her essence. And it's funny because this friend that I had reached out to when I saw her name on the light post, I told my friend that my best friend that I was just talking about, I told her that I had a friend, I had made a friend out here in Texas, and she reminded me of her. Like the essence of her reminded me of her. And it was really funny, so when I just thought about that, it just reminded me of a ball that I feel like I dropped the ball. I feel like I dropped the ball in so many areas of my life. Like I miss my friend. I really do. And I feel bad because it's just like, when the day after, I was telling the story in the last video, the day after I wanted to crash out, literally send my car through the building, and Lord give me a sign just started playing out of nowhere, like in the middle. Like I'm literally sitting here contemplating, not even realizing my baby is in the back seat, like literally it was just like, it was bad. I was in a really, really dark place. And I remember I had found myself like in the cemetery like the next day. And I didn't know why I was there. My father's buried there, but I didn't know why I was there. And it was just like, it was like the last straw kept getting getting plucked. And I remember this particular day, it was raining, or it was like really, yeah, it was raining. It was really windy, so I had my umbrella, and the wind just blew really hard and like broke my umbrella into a million pieces. And that was just the last straw. Like, I was like, I can't take it anymore. And I just like going crazy. And I remember I got in the car and I heard God say, "Live and go live." That's what He was telling me the day before. He was like, "Live and go live," and I'm like, I can't go live. Go live and say what? Right? Live and go live, because like at this point, like even then, like my phone was at the capacity. I couldn't record any more videos. I couldn't save any more anything. Everything, like it was a culmination of all the stuff that I couldn't even deal with. And so I remember I went live, right? Because I remember getting in the car. Like I heard, the wind was going really loud, but I heard what sounded like somebody hit a baseball. It was like, and then it sounded like somebody slid into first base. I heard that, right? Like some real angels in the outfield. I heard that. And then but like I was going through a lot. Then the wind took my umbrella and broke it to a million pieces. I remember I just grabbed it and like, oh, I was just over life. Like I was right back to where I was the day before. Like same feelings. Like I want to crash out. I'm crashing out. And so I take the umbrella, throw it in my back seat, and this time I'm alone. I'm by myself, and I get in my car, and the where I had parked my car, it was in between two trees. there was one tree was really vibrant and like full of life, and there was another one that was just scraggly and dying, nothing, no leaves, nothing on it. And I heard God say, "Choose ye this day who you will serve." Because I started, and I'm like, God, like, I screamed, I'm like, why won't you let me go? I remember like just like screaming that, like, because I felt like I wanted to let go, but he wouldn't let me go. He wouldn't let me go. And I heard him say, "Choose ye this day who you will serve." And I heard him say, "Live and go live." And I did. That live is long deleted since then because I didn't know they didn't save. But I think I went live on Instagram, and and out of the, I think like 40 or 50 friends that were online, about 48 of them were in that live. And the only person that reached out to me was my friend. She was the only one. As soon as I ended the, she's like, "You want to come talk?" She was the only one. And like, we talked and like we had like a real heart to heart. And God has really been showing me, like, and even when I feel like I'm going through something, other people are going through things too. And sometimes what you have, you don't even know what you have, because she started talking. And I kept saying, "I really have to start a podcast. I really have to start a podcast. I really have to start and do," because, God leads me to have these conversations with people when I see breakthrough, I see deliverance, like, but it comes from me being vulnerable and sharing these parts of me that I don't really like. Look at me. I would not come on here like that. I would not do this at all. But God is so good. And that's how, like, I'm talking to her and I'm just being vulnerable about me. She started talking, and I remember one time she said something to me that really broke my heart. Like, she's like, I just don't tell you some things sometimes because, like, like, you don't tell me things. And it is not like, it's when you don't know who you are, and you're just so lost and conflicted. And, I thought maybe it was, I was so strong, or I was just used to being strong. Maybe that played a part, but then pride played a part too. It was just very hard for me to let people in. Like, I needed to be, I'd rather be the one that's needed than the one that needs. And, like, she was the only one. She was the only one. She was the only one that reached out to me. I have family in that life. There were so many people, nobody. She called me as soon as I ended that live, and she's like, "You want to come over?" "Come over." She said, "Come over." And we just talked. We just sat in the car. We just talked for hours, and we laughed and we cried, and we just, but I realized talking to her that it wasn't just like she was there for me, but my vulnerability helped her too. And I was like, "Come on, let's start this podcast. Come on, let's start." I miss her. I miss her so much. And it's crazy, like, you can miss people that are still here. And I just feel like, there's so many things in life that just, like, pull and tug. And oh, God. I did not expect none of this. But it's like, it's very therapeutic in a way, because it's like I came down here with the weight of the world on my shoulders. But as soon as I came down here, my baby, he was crying, he was screaming. But then I heard him say, "You gotta show this." asleep. And this is the thing, right? This started, I'm still haven't got to this Widow of Zarephath video yet. And because life is just happening, but God is saying, show it, show it, show all of it, show it. The scars, those things that you want to keep covered up, like me, like look at me right now, look at me right now. I'm like a hot mess is spreads, like, and so, oh my God, I didn't expect to even go here, and this all came from this formula, right? Like, you're not gonna believe, like, it's literally a text thread, right? It says you're not gonna believe this. But then on the bottom, I just saw this last night. It says cheers. It says cheers. And, my dad rocked him a little bit and he fell asleep. But I felt so horrible because I'm like, God, like, did I mess up? Like, I know in the past, but like, I'm living completely different now. Like, my life is completely submitted and surrendered to God. Like, I forgive 70 times 7. I fast, I pray, I give, I live by your statutes. I do all the things you tell me to do. But then there's this one area, this YouTube. It was this one thing right here for me. So I'm like, what is it? Where? But it's like, as soon as I start talking, there's like a flow, and it's not me. This is not me. I would not do this normally. I would have bullet points and it would be perfect, but it would never get done because everything is pulling me in every direction. I don't have the time to think or think. And he's like, you gotta show this, like the real, the raw, the uncut. Look at my shirt. My pants are, I was halfway getting dressed, so let me just zip it up. See if I can. I wasn't all the way together, as you can see. So let me not show all the stuff. But look at my shirt. Walk by faith, not by sight. So I think that's what we're gonna call this one. Walk by faith, not by sight. I did not even plan to come on here. I don't even know what I said. I don't even think. I feel like I've made a lot of videos that don't even have like a timeline. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But I trust God because somehow every time he tells me to turn this on, it's like, that song by Hannah Montana. Is that even her name? What's her real name? I don't know. I don't remember. But The Climb, I can almost see it. That dream I'm dreaming, but there's a voice inside my head saying you'll never reach it. I was singing that song yesterday. I was praying that. I was praying. I was on my knees and I was praying. And I like got up and I started hearing that song. Like, it's all about the climb. It's really all about the climb. That's what it's about. It's about the journey. So funny, like that. Like I was telling you before about that picture with my husband that literally said marriage was a journey. I had this dream that I call it the journey to the past dream because in the dream I was hearing Anastasia, like the song Journey to the Past in the dream. I was hearing that. And like, so I call that my journey to the past dream. And like, but I was like in like a tree house, but it was like Cinderella's house. It was a lot of stuff going on. But it's trusting God in the unknown. This is that middle that he's been saying, can you trust me here? Because it's scary and I don't even know what's coming out of this. Like I'm just literally just I tear my heart open just to feel. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. And so, like, I don't know. I don't know where any of this is going. I don't know how it's gonna even turn out. I'm reaching my threshold here. So I gotta start a new video. I don't even know how I got all this space that I'm recording on. Like, cause I literally just made like 4 45-minute videos all. So yeah, I don't even know how this was about. I don't know. But